Hey guys, it's PrincessMuk, and today we are going to be doing a Avatar: The Last Airbender create a sim. So here we are. I'm going to be using some custom content, and basically all of it I found on the Sims resource, so I might link it in the description. I'll edit that in if I do, but so we're gonna be doing this, and I will have a voiceover spaded up for y'all, because otherwise this would be like 3 hours long. So anyway, we're just gonna get started. So without further ado, here we go. So I decided to give Aang the friend of the world aspiration because he's the avatar and that's kind of his thing. It's like peace and being friends with everyone is really outgoing. So I gave him the traits cheerful, good, and outgoing. And I took away all the stuff, and I'm trying to find like a good base shape for his face. So I used the powder skin. I use that most of the time on my Sims. So I was just trying to find something like good, looked good for him. And I gave him gray eyes and stuff because he has gray eyes. And I was just looking around, seeing what looked good, and just messing with the facial sculpting a little bit, making it look better. The lips especially, because lips on the guys always look like they always end up looking really weird for some reason on The Sims 4. So I was just trying to make sure they didn't look too weird. So I ended up going with that, and he doesn't really have anything to do besides his eyes. So I use eyes that show up in the makeup section for most of my Sims. And then I gave him his Airbender tattoos, and I thought I might take away his powder skin, but I thought it looked too Technicolor, so I kind of liked it like that, like more faded. So then I had a little bit of trouble picking out his outfit. I wanted it to look more like robes at first, but then I realized the color scheme just didn't look very good, and it wasn't matching, and he would have to have these like weird leather red pants. So I ended up going with more of like a modern teenager kind of look, where he's chill and it's kind of his color scheme, but it's more modern. So I went for more modern looks for all the Sims. So he just ended up wearing something like a hoodie, there it is, and some pants and just some shoes. So he just looks pretty chill. So yeah. So for Katara, I decided to give her the Big Happy Family aspiration. She is self-assured, hot-headed, and family-oriented. So with Katara, one of the basic face shapes I think fit her pretty well. So I used one of those, and then I changed the nose and the jaw a little bit, and I think the lips, and then obviously her skin tone and stuff. So I gave her darker skin tone, and I was messing around with some shading and stuff, but I decided to go without it. So I was choosing between that hair and another hair, and I decided to use the other hair because it looked more like her, I think. In book 3, that's kind of like the hair she has. So I was going for a more natural look for her. I didn't have the type of necklace she has, so I decided to use that because I realized that if you're going for a more modern look anyway, you don't want to do exactly. So this is kind of like what I would imagine she'd look like. So then I gave her eyes with the new thing, or the makeup eye thing. And for her clothing, I had a specific clothing I wanted to use, but apparently it didn't save into the game, so I gave her this dress, which is actually a CC for Anastasia from the movie Anastasia, and I thought it looked really nice on her. I liked the color, so I gave her some tights and some little moccasin shoes because I thought it looked really cute. So I really liked how she ended up. So for Sokka, I gave him the nerd brain aspiration because he is very smart and intellectual in a lot of ways, even if he doesn't always act like it. And I gave him the athletic, clumsy, and loves the outdoors traits. So for Sokka, I had a little bit of trouble finding the face shape at first, but then I ended up finding one I kind of liked. I'm still a little iffy on it, but I think it looks good for him. The eyes too, where I wasn't really quite sure what to do for a while with those, and I ended up, I was looking at Katara to make sure I was getting his skin tone right. So I had certain hair that I downloaded for him, but that didn't show up either, so a few of the things weren't showing up, and I restarted the game, but it didn't really do anything. So that happened, but you know, I still like the hair he ended up with, it's just not the shaven kind. And then it wouldn't let me edit his body with the sliders. They weren't showing up. It does that sometimes, so I had to do that. So he ended up just going for more of like a polo shirt, pretty natural. Oh, those pants earlier were like, I was just looking at them because I thought they looked really weird. So yeah, that's our boy, and then I changed their last names. Next up was Toph, and for Toph, I wanted her to look more childish, even though they are all young adults. So I gave her this hair, I downloaded it, and I thought it looked really cute and a lot like her hair, and I was contemplating putting that in, but it was clipping with the bangs, and I didn't like the way it looked, so I ended up taking it off. And with Toph, I gave her a lot more natural look because I was going to give her lipstick, but then I didn't, because, you know, Toph doesn't really care about that stuff. So the eyes, I was playing around with some eyes, trying to see if I could, like, make her look more blind, but then I ended up giving her the same eyes as everyone else, just a lot lighter color. So then I thought that shirt looked really cute, and I wasn't sure if I liked it at first, but it grew on me, and I think it looks a lot like something Toph would wear. And then I gave her the, like, pranks and mischief, and I gave her the traits, hot-headed, mean, and a slob. I promise you I love Toph, but she's a little bit iffy sometimes. So for Zuko, I was really excited to do him. I ended up giving him the Big Happy Family trait as well, because I feel like that's all he wants is people to accept him. He was hot-headed, loner, and ambitious, and so I took away all that weird stuff. I was looking through some of the things trying to get more of his chin shape, and then I ended up randomizing a bit, and I liked the way that jaw looked, so I ended up doing that. So I changed his cheekbones a little, changed his eyebrows, changed his eye shape, because he looks more Japanese than some of the other characters. Like Toph looks more Chinese, I think, and he looks like more Japanese to me. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but anyway, so then I gave him a scar. It was a CC I downloaded off of, well, the SimCC, you know, the website. So I ended up giving him this like spiky hair, so I ended up going for like more of the book 3 hair instead of the, like, well, no one likes the book 1 hair. So I gave him just like a nice little shirt, and he just kind of looked pretty chill. So of course next I did everybody's problematic fave, Azula. I ended up making her aspiration the enemy of the world. She is self-assured, perfectionist, and evil. So Azula I had a lot of fun doing, actually. It's really fun making Azula look more modern. I gave her like really defined arched eyebrows and like very like calculated looking, just everything. And her hair, I love it. I just downloaded it the other day just for her, and I think it looks super cute. Like, she looks like a queen. So I ended up giving her a little more jewelry and makeup because she's a princess, so she's like a rich kind of gal, and she will use everything to her advantage, including her looks and like her personality. So I was playing with shirts, messing around with that, and I thought I was doing more of a like the beach episode vibe when they went to the party and stuff, and I liked that shirt for a while, but then I realized it just did not really work with anything, and it looked really weird, and none of the skirts really were red or anything, and it just kind of looked dumb. So I ended up changing it to a different shirt that looks a lot better, because it was kind of a cute outfit, but the shirt just looked a little weird, and there wasn't a lot I could do with it, so I ended up doing, like, changing it around. And the shoes, I couldn't really find shoes that, like, fit with it as well, so I ended up changing it to that, like, black shirt, so it looked a lot better. So next up was May, and I also had a lot of fun doing May. She's just, like, so cute and, like, emo and stuff. So I ended up making her a writer because I feel like she has like a tortured soul. So she's gloomy, a loner, and she's a perfectionist. So May, I did a little randomization looking at those face shapes too. And I wanted to give her, she also looks like a lot more, like, I'm not really sure. She's very pale. May is like the emo-iest you can get. So I gave her a more like yellowy tinted skin because that's, you know, how she is. And for hair, I was messing around with a few options. I just wanted to get the 2 buns and like hair going down. And that hair, I was just looking at how it looked because I had just downloaded it. So I wanted those 2 buns, I knew that, and I was messing with the hair a little bit, but I ended up going with the first option that I had, I think, because it blended a lot better. And as you can see, some of the hair didn't look as good with it. So I ended up going with that, and I thought she looked really cool. She was pretty like calculating looking, but also kind of like I gave her like darker lipstick. I think it looked really good on her, and she had just more of a like a just like chilling, but also like really like calculated in a way. So yeah, that's what I did. She had like a big oversized hoodie. It was cute. So for Ty Lee, I was really excited to do her, last but not least. I gave her the like partying one, I forgot exactly what it's called, and she's ambitious, good, and cheerful. So Ty Lee, I had a lot of fun making. She was pretty easy. That face just totally reminded me like exactly of her. I didn't change much in it, just like the eyebrows, and I think maybe the lips or something. Yeah, so, and I changed the jaw a little bit to make it look more like her. So, oh, I forgot to mention, I also use the powder skin on all my girls. So, the powder skin, I have a lot of skins, but the powder skin I think I use the most. Because it just looks really nice to me. And so, I gave her little braid. I already had that downloaded, and I gave her earrings. I didn't really give anyone else earrings, but I feel like Ty Lee would wear earrings. And that choker was like clipping into her neck a little, but I kept it because I thought it was really cute. So, yeah. So with Ty Lee, she's pretty skinny actually in the thing. Like, she's a little girl. Like, she's really small. So I was gonna dress her up in like a sports bra or something, but I decided not to and give her, actual clothes. So she ended up very pink. Because, she's Ty Lee. So I gave her these really cute shoes, and she ended up looking really cute. So, yeah. So that is what we have. We have Aang, Katara, we have Sokka, whose hair I still can't fix because it's not here for some reason. Toph, Zuko, Azula, May, and Ty Lee. So I went for a more modern look for them, and they're all young adults because that makes it easier to do. So there we go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.